Hey everyone, so if you've ever had one of those knee injuries that just refuses to heal, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to dive into how some specific nutritional support can actually help our body's own natural repair process for something like a torn meniscus.
Does this question sound familiar? You've got that nagging knee injury, you've tried resting it, you've iced it, but that ache and weakness just hangs around. It is so frustrating, right? Well, it turns out there's a very specific biological reason why this happens.
All right, so here's the deal. The meniscus, which is that little C-shaped cushion in your knee, has a big problem. It barely gets any blood supply. And as you know, blood flow is everything for healing. Only this outer edge, what we call the red zone, gets a little bit of blood, giving it a shot at repairing itself. The rest of it really struggles, and that's why recovery can feel like it's taking forever.
And that, right there, is the big question we're looking at today. What if we could work with the body? Not try to replace its healing process, but instead give it the exact tools it needs to work better, especially in that super important red zone.
So to make this all really easy to understand, let's think of it like calling in a highly specialized repair crew. This crew is made up of 5 key members, and each one has a very specific job to do. They all work together to get the injury site back in working order.
Here's the game plan for our crew. First, we've got a firefighter to cool things down. Then, the cleanup crew comes in to clear out all the debris. After that, the power crew arrives to fuel the big rebuild. We also have a signal crew to direct all the work. And finally, an environment manager to make sure the overall conditions are just right for repair. So, let's meet the first member of the team.
First on the scene, you guessed it, is the firefighter. In our case, the firefighter is a compound called fisetin, and its #1 job is to tackle that immediate crisis right after an injury. You know, that runaway inflammation. And this right here is the source of so much of that pain and swelling you feel. It's a condition called synovitis. Basically, the lining of your joint is on fire. So the firefighter's first mission is to get that blaze under control.
So by calming down those inflammatory reactions, fisetin helps to ease the swelling and the pain. But this isn't just about feeling better. This is absolutely crucial for creating a stable, calm environment where the real repair work can actually start. I mean, you can't rebuild a house in the middle of a fire, right?
Okay, the fire is under control. What's next? Well, you've got to clear out all the debris and wreckage, and that is the job of our second crew member, the cleanup crew, which is powered by a really interesting compound called urolithin A.
Now, urolithin A gets to work by kickstarting a process called autophagy. The easiest way to think about this is like your body's own built-in, super smart quality control and recycling system. It goes in, identifies all the old, damaged cellular junk that's just getting in the way, and clears it out. And the goal here is so precise. It's not just random cleaning. It's about targeting those old, broken-down fragments of cartilage cells. By doing that, urolithin A literally makes space. It's prepping the construction site so that new, healthy cells can come in and start laying down the foundation for a much stronger, healthier cartilage matrix.
The site is prepped and clean, so now we need some serious energy for the construction phase. And that's where the power crew comes in. This is a dynamic duo of compounds, NMN and PQQ. You can think of them as high-octane fuel for your cells, designed to fire up the cellular engines needed to rebuild that cartilage.
And this shows you the night and day difference it makes. On the left, with low energy, the whole repair process is just sluggish and inefficient. But on the right, when you flood those cells with energy from NMN and PQQ, you get accelerated regeneration. The construction workers finally have the power they need to do their job right.
So what are these energized cells actually doing? Well, they're manufacturing the literal building blocks for your meniscus. We're talking collagen for strength and proteoglycans for that essential cushioning and support. More energy simply means better, faster production of these critical parts.
Okay, so we've got a calm site, a clean foundation, and fully energized workers. But now we need a project manager, a foreman, to tell everyone what to do. That's the job of the signal crew, which in our case comes from a Swiss apple stem cell extract.
This extract is amazing because it provides what we call bioactive signals. Think of them like molecular text messages being sent to all the cells in the area. These messages tell them to wake up, get to work, and most importantly, become the exact type of cell needed to repair the meniscus. It's all about coordination.
So the goal here is to turn potential chaos into a perfectly coordinated effort.
Without these signals, you might have cells that are disorganized. But by activating the right stem cells and directing the other workers, the signal crew makes sure the whole repair process is efficient, organized, and builds a strong, stable new structure.
Now, all this amazing local work is fantastic, but it's all happening inside a much larger system, your whole body. So our final crew member, the environment manager, takes a step back to look at that bigger picture. This role is played by AKK probiotics, and its job is to manage the body's overall inflammatory state.
Now, this is where things get really fascinating. There's something called the gut-immune-joint axis, which is basically a communication highway in your body. It shows us that what happens in your gut does not stay in your gut. An unhealthy gut can actually fuel inflammation all over your body, including in your joints, which can make it way harder for a local injury to heal properly.
So by using something like AKK probiotics to improve your gut health, you can lower this body-wide or systemic inflammation. You're basically turning down the constant background noise of inflammation, creating a much calmer internal environment where local repairs, like the one in your knee, can finally happen much more effectively.
Okay, and this is incredibly important, so let's be really clear. The source material is very direct about this. This kind of nutritional approach is not a replacement for medical treatment or surgery. It's designed to be a supportive aid to help optimize your body's own internal environment for healing.
And this chart makes it crystal clear who this is for. It's a great supportive tool for things like degenerative wear and tear, mild injuries, or maybe to help with maintenance after an operation. But if you're dealing with a moderate to severe tear, or if your joint is locking up or feels unstable, that's a huge red flag. That is a clear signal to go see a doctor for a professional evaluation.
So to wrap it all up, the real power of this repair crew is that it's a multi-pathway approach. It's not just doing one thing. It's tackling the problem from every angle all at the same time. Calming inflammation, clearing out the junk, fueling the rebuild, directing the process, and improving the body's entire healing environment.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty big thought to chew on. As we learn more and more about just how connected everything in our bodies really is, it really makes you wonder, is the future of managing injuries like this less about just direct intervention and more about creating the absolute perfect internal conditions for our own bodies to do the incredible healing work they're designed to do? Thanks for watching.